Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our tour at 10. Today we're back in the collection storage. You can see behind me that Jamie is ready to talk about a really cool object, one of his favorite things in the collection. And so let's go right to it. Good morning, Jamie. What do you got for us this morning?
Well, today I thought I would talk to you about a wonderful piece of stoneware made here in Bennington by the Norton Pottery Company in 1864. Most Norton pottery was made for very utilitarian purposes. They made pieces from a half a gallon up to about 6 gallons very regularly, crocks, pots, pitchers, molasses jars, etc. They were essentially the Tupperware of the 19th century. However, they occasionally made what were known as presentation pieces, or really elaborate, large pieces that were given as gifts to prominent citizens, often people that had close associations to the pottery. This is one of my favorite pieces of Norton pottery that isn't on regular view in our permanent gallery, so I thought I would talk a little bit about it. So this is a very large, plus probably about 12-gallon double-handed jar. It is impressed up at the very top, Calvin Park, 1864, and then it's inscribed and highlighted in cobalt with a little drinking poem. It says, "Hic jacet," and for those of you who didn't take Latin in middle school, that means "here lies the animating spirit and the divine afflatus of the owner. Were it the last drop in the jug, and you gasped upon the spout, ere your fainting spirit fell, I'd advise to draw it out." So basically it's saying this is a big jug full of animating spirits, probably spirituous liquors, possibly cider, and basically saying drink up and make your spirit happy. I know a lot of us are stuck at home. Drinking might be a pastime we're enjoying right now, but the temperance movement was actually a really important part of 19th century history, and the Norton family was actually really involved in the temperance movement, but it actually kind of illustrates some of the contradictions that were happening in the 19th century. A lot of people think that temperance and prohibition were kind of synonymous with each other, but in fact, the Nortons advocated for a temperance in which they said you can't really legislate people to not drink alcohol. Vermont was actually the second state in the Union to actually have a prohibition law. So between 1852 and 1902, I believe it was, drinking alcohol was actually illegal. But of course, people continued to both make and consume it. And so the Nortons actually advocated for licensing laws. And they advocated for kind of trying to limit people's consumption, use your best sense of judgment, drinking for a wedding celebration or something like that. Is fine, but drinking to excess to the point that it could ruin your family or your job opportunities, obviously, don't do that. And so this is a wonderful artifact that kind of speaks to larger issues that were very important to American society in the 19th century, and why it makes it one of my favorite pieces to talk about in our Norton Pottery collection.
Thank you so much, Jamie. What a great object from our collection. I'm not going to say you should or shouldn't drink to your content in today's pandemic. I'll leave that up to you. But nevertheless, do know that during this crazy time, we are all in this together. The Bennington Museum is here for you in any way that we can to provide these tours at 10 and to provide you other online content. Please check out our Facebook page. We're posting as much as we can. There's lots of resources on the page that you might be able to use to help educate your kids if they're at home, if you're educating your kids from home, like practically all of us are. But really, there's also a lot of people that are having a hard time right now, and our thoughts certainly are turned towards them. Lots of businesses, lots of organizations are having a hard time. Bennington Museum's not immune to that. If you feel inclined, please get out there and do what you can to support local businesses in this crazy time. You could go and buy gift certificates online. At the Bennington Museum, you can go buy a membership. You could give a membership to a friend or family member. Most importantly, we want you to stay safe, stay engaged with us, and we can't wait. I can't wait. Jamie can't wait. Callie can't wait. All of us can't wait to see you back here in person in the galleries. And maybe even when this is all done, we'll try to do a special tour of collection storage. Thanks so much for tuning in. We'll see you next time for our tour at 10.